My father thinks that while he and Dagran were dealing with the Skarden to the south, he caught a sensation of his old hammer, Fearbreaker. What? He said it slipped out of his fingers when Dalaran crashed and it's been bothering him mightily. That hammer belongs to the Bronzebeard clan and has for generations, but he hasn't been himself lately either. I'm willing to have a look so he doesn't worry that he might have missed it. Meet me down at Camp Murrock and we'll have a look around.
Mind yourself, champion. We need you.
I'll meet you outside of Camp Murrock. Let's see if we can find Fearbreaker after all. Let's go do it. Check the weather? You're fucking actually trolling you. This guy said check the weather, streamer.
We all have our tasks.
The caverns will echo with praise of my deeds. Who the fuck are you? My name is Barent. I am called Gleaming because of how I shine. I am a hero of great daring-do and renown, you see. Whenever there are problems, I am there to help fix them. Now, we have a problem here in the Ringing Deeps with the Skarden, and I intend to do everything I can to root them out. I will use any tool or any method that seems fit for my strong hands. Let's talk about something else.
Still working.
Fearbreaker's had a long and storied history with the Bronzebeard clan. It shouldn't just sit in the mud, or be wielded by weak hands. A hint of fear. What is Fearbreaker? Fearbreaker's a hammer. Well, not just any hammer, but the ancestral hammer of the Bronzebeard clan. It's been wielded in battle both on Azeroth and on Outland. But more importantly, Fearbreaker's has its own opinions and feelings on how it should be used. I don't know how my father lost hold of it, but he wasn't at full strength at the time. Now, to be clear, I don't want Fearbreaker. I just don't want it to fall into the wrong hands. We're gonna get it back and then return it to Magni. Fearbreaker has its own opinions on feelings, and feelings on how it should be used. That sounds a lot like Gorshalak. A blade that had sentience to the point that it sundered itself when it was used to commit an act of great evil. That's interesting.
Well, I'm
A hint of
listening.
fear. Well, I wasn't expecting to actually see Fearbreaker here. It's really here, but it ain't exactly within easy reach.
You may take your leave.
Put on a good face.
The three hammers stand as one.
Berund here says that the massive beast standing over Fearbreaker is very particular about what kinds of creatures it allows near it. If we blend in, he says, we can get close enough to nab the hammer. But to blend in, he says we have to get covered by the dust and pollen in the grotto. Those lash rooms look like they're a good place to start. It all seems suspicious to me, but for now, we play along until I can recover Fearbreaker and bring it back to me father. Interesting. Cover ourselves in pollen and probably pheromone-esque stuff.
You don't look busy enough.
Mineral water woes.
Stay productive.
When that magic hammer fell into the deeps, I knew it could be a formidable weapon against the Skarden menace. Your friend has told me that it's particular about its wielder. Fortunately, I am a hero. And as a hero, I know how to get close to it. We need to have a good mix of pollen and water plastered onto us. That way the beast standing over it will think we're just like it. That mineral water has to be the exact right temperature to mix with the lash room dust and blend in.
You go wherever you please, don't you?
If you want to set foot... Is that like Deathwing's voice? Like, what the fuck is that? If you want to set foot near that crater without the creature attacking, you'll need the perfect mixture of components. While I'm happy to help, that will take some work. This sounds dangerous. Are you sure it's absolutely necessary? Yes, that hammer will be the perfect weapon against the Skarden. Once we have retrieved it, think of all the good we can do. Well, that's an interesting animation, isn't it? Got a little fire in there almost. See the little orangish red lightning that appeared. Interesting. Very convenient that a hero just happens to be here to take that hammer. Yeah, that is pretty convenient. Pretty convenient indeed. I wonder who convinced him that he's a hero. Wonder if he believes that or if someone's been whispering in your ear. Xalatath pops out of the wall looking like the fucking Joker.
Hey, come here, little boy. Let me whisper in your ear.
She looks at him, she's like,
You like candy? You like, You want some of that?
he's like, ooh, candy, you're gonna turn me into a hero.
It's like, oh, let me whisper in your memory crystal real quick.
Nothing wrong, just get in the van. Get in the van. That's Xalatath. Just get in the van. You wanna lick my toes? Get in the van. Get in the void van. What? Bruh. Get in the void wagon. Dead elf toes. Nothing like post-mortem. Rigor mortis. That's great. Do you think if Zal stubs her toe that it just breaks off? How can she stub her toe? She never walks.
Makes the meat sweet.
Oh my god. Hey girl, let me necrophilia. Jesus Christ, dude. That is something. That is. Woo, let's. She's the consciousness of a survivor through time inhabiting a dead elf body. Mineral from the first pool.
You address the Queen Regent of the Dark Iron Clan.
Doesn't seem to be the right temperature. I'm ready to be re-originated now, I think.
You ready for imminent shutdown? Cleansing parameters engaged. Scouring protocol activated.
Maybe in a way, chat, maybe that what just happened to the Earthen is how all of our characters came to be. Think about this. We all just randomly spawned one day. We didn't know who we were. We didn't know really where we were or what we were doing. We're a lot like that Earthen. Perhaps via the power of the world of Azeroth, we were granted our own free will outside the cycle so that we can do things kind of like those Earthen. And we're like the unknown character. We're like the thing that does not belong. We are God. We're Azeroth. No, this water's too warm. You'll want to find water that's just right. You just ain't got any of these. My mother told me a story about 3 bears once. It didn't turn out well for the dwarf who stole from him. Baron's scouting for the beast standing over Fearbreaker. Let's hope this is enough. I just want to get that hammer back to Magni. Are we on a wild goose chase right here? That'll have to do. Let's get back down there and see what we're up against. Look at the big beastie, and that close. And that hammer is so close. Of course, they put the botanist that you fight, and they put the fucking Genosaur as side quests. These motherfuckers.
Do you intend to idle all day?
Do you want Fearbreaker for yourself?
I'm a hero of great renown throughout the ringing deeps. I have trained and honed my shape to be the best. The Scarden menace must be quelled. I will do this, and that hammer will be an excellent weapon to wield against them. It should be in the hands of someone who will use it for good, don't you think?
I'm gonna have to kill you for the hammer, and I'm sorry about that, but, it's not looking good for you.
Watch your step.
Baron the Gleaming appears not to have a speck of pollen on himself. You got yourself good and covered in that lashroom dust, alright. I'm a bit surprised you're not itching and sneezing like your friend here.
Back to work.
Let's get down to business then.
That was a right pain, but we got the water Baron asked for. It's time we get a move on. I don't want my father's hammer to just languish here in the mud. That doesn't sit right with me. Not at all.
Mind yourself, champion. We need you.
Outsiders
Epicenter.
detected.
The caverns will echo with praise for my deeds.
Keep me informed.
Attracted to the powerful energies of Fearbreaker, it will not relinquish territory without a fight. So this thing is attracted to the powers of Fearbreaker.
There is a creature standing between us and that magic hammer. It certainly made an impact when it landed here in the ringing deeps, didn't it? Look at the size of that crater. With the pollen and water splashed on you like this, you should be able to approach that beast and theoretically not be harmed. You'll blend right in with it. But if it does turn aggressive, don't worry. I'll be right behind you.
This guy's trying to get us killed, so he can...
Stay productive.
I don't know. You should be able to run right up to it. Go on, I'll follow you. Yeah, this is gonna turn well. I'm so surprised at your actions.
No hard feelings. I'll do great things in your memory with this hammer.
That guy's definitely gonna go jerk off about that hammer. That's not, I don't need, that's not what, we don't need that. Domineering gore? You should not be here. You should not be here. Down here at all. But you're attracted to this power, huh? Lightning? Spiritual lightning, perhaps? It's more greenish lightning than normal. I don't know.
The mountain lends us its strength.
When Magni dropped the Fearbreaker, I thought that was the end of the legacy, and there was no going back. Now there's a chance to recover the hammer, and it slipped away from me. We have to find Berund before he gets himself killed. I thought you didn't want Fearbreaker. I don't. I didn't. Now the Black Anvil, I don't have time to think this through right now. It's clear that people are in danger, and the hammer's not where it ought to be. We can talk about this later.
May your hammer strike true.
Why, that amber-sucking, slime-spined travesty of an earthen! I've met trogs with more honor. He took Fearbreaker. He took my family's hammer and left us to die to that creature. This cannot stand. I will not allow such disrespect to you or to me.
I dismiss you.
That gravel-brained ingrate. He took Fearbreaker and ran off to the north. It's not that I want that hammer for myself, I don't. It belongs to the Bronzebeard clan. It should be in the hands of someone who respects its power. We need to track him down before he hurts himself or someone else with that hammer.
We will survive.
Fearbreaker's not some clump of pretty metal. It's got feelings and opinions. Baron's gonna have a devil of a time keeping hold of it. We can track him. Seismic contusion. Fearbreaker impacted the ground with some force here. This devastation does not seem intentional.
Such devastation! This was not my intention!
Energy still crackles from where Fearbreaker struck the earth. The hammer seems to be resisting its wielder. Is it possible to wield an evil sword that resists you trying to do good things, but instead does bad things? Perhaps like a Frostmourne? Or a Goraball? An evil sword? Or an evil hammer? Baron's hold on Fearbreaker seems tenuous as the hammer appears to have impacted the ground yet again, this time with even more force. Thanks, Blinky. The rumbling wastes. Mara Thorison, Queen of the Dark Iron.
Best mind your manners in the presence of a queen.
Boiling mad.
May your hammer strike
These
true.
Earthen have had a bad time of it. Baron's already run headlong into there. But if he was hoping to clean up the ills of the place, he's clearly in over his rocky head. Myra points to the nearby rocky contusion. Fearbreaker. He can barely keep hold of Fearbreaker. Thank you. What if he drops it and is killed? We need to find him.
You may take your leave.
Baron took Fearbreaker for himself. I suppose he thought he could save these people, be the hero. But you can't go about doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. I know from experience, if a rock is hollow to begin with, it never can be solid again, no matter how hard you try. He's likely to need saving himself now. Let's find him in this blasted place. Remornia from Shadowlands is like this and can literally talk. Sort of. I mean, Remornia, it's almost like there might be a soul actually in the weapon itself. That's not to say that can't be the case for Fearbreaker, but Ashbringer also resisted use. Yeah, Fearbreaker's been in the lore for a long, long time. The light seems to flow through its wielder from the weapon, and despite it coming from a vastly different culture, Bane felt a kinship through its power towards Anshe and Musha when Anduin first gave it to him. Interesting. I've only got 5% of my ghastly charger. I'm gonna have to watch WoW streams. That's insane. It's actually insane that you've got to watch a stream. It doesn't count to do it yourself. Clean up house.
The three hammers.
It looks like the
stand as
destruction
one.
around the coreway rattled loose more than just a few stones down here. It stirred up all sorts of dark things. If this was a thriving mining operation, it ain't no more. We need to help the Earth and get it under control again. And that means thinning out these beasts.
If you hear anything I know.
Thanks, Rishamigo. I've been enjoying doing them. What's happened to this place? This place was hit hard when the coreway collapsed. Now Scarlet and other horrors run amok. We weren't able to get everyone out in time. And Baron thinks he can make things right with one magic hammer. Alright, I'll do my best. Do my best to help. Ah, the music, dude. The music. None of these count towards my quest objective. I've gone down way too far, even though this is the area where it showed me she was running. I don't understand. Have a good night, Tag. welcome in everyone who's just getting home after work, maybe just logging in for the first time into the war within themselves. I'm thankful to have you guys here. Hope you guys are doing great. If you're just now being able to play for the first time, I really hope you enjoy it. It is quite something. Take your time on it. Don't let other people rush you. Really, you know, take your time to appreciate the world. Are those the things Illyria was fighting in the cinematic? Which cinematic? I mean, I think Illyria's fought some of them, yeah. Thank you for the Mount Pyro, no problem. Thank you for watching. Good night, Carvian. I love your content. You reckon there's a connection between the Fungarians and Marasmius from Ardenweald not being figured out yet? I think there's something underlying about the entirety of fungal growth in World of Warcraft that has not necessarily been understood yet. And so perhaps that does include Rasmius and that stuff. Marasmius, sorry. But yeah. You're here, thank goodness. The hammer you bloody thief! You're lucky we weren't far behind. Whoa. Berend the Gleaming. The Gleaming. Fearbreaker sits solid and heavy on the ground. Try to lift Fearbreaker. Fearbreaker slips politely out of your grasp, dropping back to the ground. It is waiting for someone else. You get a slightly different dialogue when you try to lift it as a dwarf. Really? Irikos Games, thanks so much for the Prime. Does that look kind of like Azerite from the right angle? I mean, it's blue and gold. It's not the right animation for Azerite, though. Azerite's got a pretty specific, like, animation set that's pretty clearly all gold and blue.
Make it quick.
Baron the Gleaming skin is chipped and damaged. His eyes can barely focus. He is near to death. Every time I tried to use the hammer, it just got away from me. I could have saved people. I don't...
You go wherever you please, don't you?
Myra stands straight and tall as she can, her chin high and proud, but she still appears conflicted.
I dismiss you.
That's a mite better. At least there won't be so many of those creatures running amok in this area. Now we've got other problems. We've got Skarden.
You may take your leave. Have you heard anything I need to know?
Need something to do?
I knew I couldn't take the Skarden without some help. I thought if I just had that magic hammer, then nothing would stop me. I had to have it, you see. Or else, maybe I wasn't who I was made to be. But it kept slipping out of my fingers, like it didn't want anything to do with me. It fell out of my hands at the worst moment, and now, he coughs again, it's clearly not mine. It never was. I'm sorry. This is an interesting scenario here.
I'm still working.
Now look
You
here,
leaving?
you made-up hero. You left us to die. Fortunately, Ansharan knows what they're doing in an unfair fight. And Bronze in a Bronzebeard never gives up. This hammer don't belong to you. It belongs to my father's clan. My son's clan and mine. Mara Thorison picks up Fearbreaker. Get your people out of the wastes. Do some good if you've still got strength left. You're an earthen, are you not? Made of the mountains themselves?
Are you here to chat or work?
I thought this day would never come because my dad would have never given me Fearbreaker. He probably would have wanted it to happen in a different way. But I have it now, and I'll make sure it gets back to him safe. First though, we have unfinished business here.
May your hammer strike true.
The Skarden have taken over the operations here at the Rumbling Wastes. They've even taken over me. That's why Baron thought he needed Fearbreaker. We're going to finish that job before I take the hammer back to Magni. What kind of a queen would I be if I wasn't willing to put myself in danger for the good of others? Let's get in there and save as many as we can.
I dismiss you.
You're still going into the Rumbling Waste to fight the Skarden. Ask Maratharson to strike and weaken your Skardan target with Fearbreaker. What is this little cave we find ourselves in? Anything of note or value besides this quest? Agitated scorpion, well that's not much use to anyone. Moira can give you both a pep talk and verbally bitch slap you at the same time. I love it. It's nice. It's got a nice little dichotomy going there. It's like show it just being old. I like Taliesin's theory about Locust Walker being future Khadgar. I really hope they don't do that. I kind of prefer Locust Walker as his own character. Who do you think the big baddie is for the end, for this X-Pack at the end? I don't answer questions like that. I think that trying to predict that at this stage is foolish, and that pretty much anyone that tries to do that is more than likely going to get it wrong. If it's not Dementius, then I don't really think that we have an easy answer for that, because I don't think it will be Xal'atath, obviously, because she'll be present, it sounds like, throughout more of the saga. Yeah, like, could anyone have predicted Argus as the final boss in Legion? No. No. No one predicted that. Because we didn't even know that Argus had a Titan. Like, we didn't even know. It's impossible to predict. Not impossible, but I would say there's not really any information to me so far that suggests it. You'd have to just get a lucky guess. We knew from 1,000 Years of War? No, we didn't really know the full extent. I mean, we knew that it had a soul, but we wouldn't have known that that was gonna be the final boss. Yeah, everyone knew the jailer. Yeah. Jailer was the only predictable final boss, besides like Deathwing. I guess a lot of the end bosses in the early games were very predictable. Illidan as you know, or KJ is rather predictable. The Lich King is obviously predictable. Deathwing is obviously predictable. But, you know. You got your ghost horse an hour ago? Very nice, congrats. Which is crazy, we killed a Titan. Well, we didn't kill a Titan. We beat a Titan down so much that it assumed its more constellation-based form again, but we didn't kill Argus. If anything, the Titans killed Argus. They used the last of its remaining power to imprison Sargeras, which more implies so that they were the ones that dealt the killing blow. If he died at all, which I guess is what's said with his echo going to the Shadowlands and all that. Unless it wasn't until we drew the energy out post-sword stabbing that it counted, you know? At what moment does his soul go to the Shadowlands? I almost kind of feel like it went there when we pulled it out of the blade. So these Skardan degenerate into these demon-looking things? Yeah, they like are amalgamously warped, essentially, and some of the bigger ones are a conglomeration, an amalgamation, rather, of fallen earthen. It's pretty fucked up. What happened to the planet Argus after Argus was killed? Nothing. Nothing. At least as far as we're aware. Nice. So we get this guy helping us. And we go over here to this quest hub. Calling it out, end boss will be the Arakoa. You're out of control. Out of control. Is this the first time we see Skardan in WoW? Yes. Well, there are planets that never had a Titan soul inside and are flourishing, right? Theoretically, yes. Good luck, Clutch. Thank you for gifting 5 subs, man. Or 6 subs, pardon me. Thank you. Oh, damn, we're at 1,700. Oh, shit. Look at that. Holy fuck. Damn, dude. I did not expect that today. Thank you.
Best mind your manners in the presence
We got
of
there
the
a
Queen.
roundabout way, but we still made a difference in the lives of these Earthen. Berend hopefully has learned a lesson in real heroism. I suppose we'll see in time. Now let's get this over with.
Mind yourself, champion. We need you.
Well, we did what we set out to do, and more. We found Fearbreaker and did some good with it. Now it's time to bring it back to Magni. Let's hope Berend learned a lesson here. I suspect he'll manage to get himself in trouble again soon. Hopefully it'll be for the right reasons and with the right support. Fearbreaker's Echo. Invoke an Echo of Fearbreaker's. Fearbreaker's Might, splitting the ground beneath your current target and dealing 310,000 nature damage split between all enemies near them.
The 3 hammers stand as one.
We have saved the day. And the Earthen will be forever grateful for your help, Myra.
I'm sure you'll remember me. And take care, don't forget to do the right thing for the right reason. Now we've got to get back to Gundergaz.
Henceforth and always, I will be known far and wide in Kalzogar and beyond, for we are made of the mountains themselves. She just fucks off. She didn't have time to hear that shit.
We all have our tasks.
Another day saved, another tale of heroic deeds to tell. You sure about that? Why, yes. Berend glances at the other Earthen nearby. He lowers his voice. Look, I apologize for leaving you to fight that beastie yourself. I never intended to get anyone killed, or worse, angry with me. He raises his voice again. But look at you. You came out of it just fine. Perhaps we'll run into each other again, where there is danger and there are deeds to be done. Stare hard at Berend the Gleaming. I mean it. I think we could work very well together. Berend stands silently, giving you a confused look. What? Berend conveniently stares off into the distance.
Watch your step.
This fucking guy throws me under the bus, and he's like, "Oh, well, I don't know. I think we could be pretty cool friends." This motherfucker. We'll come back for those quests. It's gonna take me fucking 3 days to get through Ring and Deeps at this rate, bro. I'm gonna have to power through. We're at 9 hours of streaming already. All right, chat. Might have to buckle the fuck in for this one. I got approval.
Are you here to
good.
chat or work? Let's get down to business then.
It's funny. I can see why my dad was so fond of this hammer, and what it meant when he trusted others to hold on to it. Fearbreaker's got a mind of its own, in ways. It wants what it wants. I suppose I relate. It wants what it wants. Bro, I'm telling you,
If you hear anything I note, let me know.
here's your
We
hammer,
will
you
survive.
stubborn old ram.
We always
Found
do.
it sure enough. Nay, you should keep it, my girl. My girl. It's sitting solid in your hands like it belongs there, as it was meant to be. This isn't some sort of test, some trick to make me accept a certain legacy. You're a Bronzebeard through and through. It don't take Fearbreaker to make that clear. I just ask that one day, when you know it's time, to pass it on. It's terrible timing. Aye, but for now, I'll keep good care of it. Thanks, Da. Nice.
You need a hammer? Or an open hand?